Alrighty, so what have we got that's changed in the most recent patch? Well, we're going to be focusing on a few of these changes mainly. We're going to be looking at some of the more important. And to me, one of the most important is the change to the gold and chrome paint job shaders. No, not really, but these have been updated. And as you can see, they do look a lot more reflective. We'll also have a look at these pictures of my Corvette. As you can see, it's actually gone and changes the way it looks in different lighting effects. As you can see in the industrial station, it looks more of a goldy colour. And in the high tech, you can see it's a bit more blue. So that's really awesome how it kind of just reflects the hues and tones of the colours around it. So that's really nice. Now, the next thing that I am really happy with is changes to this ship. And yes, this is my Vulture. We did a video on it not that long ago about what and how I like to run my ship. So this ship has had a little bit of an update as well. Not so much to the ship itself, but the inclusion of some nice new module slots. New module slots in this ship? What are you talking about, Chaos? What witchery is this? Well, let's go and have a look, shall we? So, in the outfitting department, we're going to have a look at the optional internals, and as you can see, nothing's actually changed here. This is all exactly the same as what it was previously. Now, this ship, I was just using this to run around, jump around, because I was trying to get interdicted by Thargoids again. Or the alleged Thargoids, let's say. So, let's go back. So, you can't see them there. Where they actually are is here. As you can see here, an empty military compartment. This is a grade 5. This is a massive, massive buff to this ship. Because whereas before you were stuck to having a class 5 shield and a class 4 shield cell bank at most, the great thing about this now is that you can actually go and put a shield cell bank in there of class 5. So you can have even more shield boosting on your Vulture. So that's going to make modified Vultures with class 5 shield cell banks and prismatic shields a thing. That's insane. So it's going to make this ship a lot more tanky, which is crazy in a way. Now, these military compartments, you can only fit 3 items in there. You can fit hull reinforcements, shield cell banks, and the brand new module reinforcements. So this is another one of these new things, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. So as you can see, the Vulture has gotten one of these class 5 new internal slots. What other ships have gotten these? Well, the Eagle has gotten one of them, and the Eagle has a size 2. The Imperial Eagle also has one size 2. Both the Vipers Mark III and Mark IV have a size 3. The Vulture, as you can see, has a size 5. The Federal Dropship, Gunship and Assault Ship all have size 4s, but whereas the Dropship and the Assault Ship have 2 each, the Gunship has 3. So that's awesome. Now, the Imperial Cutter and the Federal Corvette both have 2 size 5s. So they have 2 of these size 5s. Size 5 seems to be the largest that we're getting. And the Anaconda has gotten 1. Why these ships? No others. Because these are specifically combat vessels. Yes, they can be used for other things, but their main core role is combat. You won't see anything of this in the Cobra because the Cobra is a dedicated multi-purpose ship. It's like the Asp and the Python. They're specifically multi-role ships. They're not specifically for anything. They may do slightly better at certain things, like the Cobra and the Python maybe do better at combat than anything else, but they are still multi-purpose ships. So what else has changed? Well, as you can see here, we're looking at the Viper Mark III. Now, all Vipers across the galaxy have received a little bit of a buff. What's happened is their hull and chassis has been reduced in weight by 10 tons. So, which is going to make this ship a lot more maneuverable. So this is going to be really interesting. As you can see here, the hull mass is 50 tons. Now, I suspect before this patch, this was actually going to be 60 tons. So what this means is, like we said, this is going to have a much higher boost speed and a much higher standard cruising speed. So it's going to make the Vipers much more agile, much faster, and much better combat ships. Not 100% certain if this counts for the Viper Mark IV as well. I suspect it does, because in the patch notes it does not specify between Vipers 3 and 4. It just says all Vipers. So yeah, what else have we got? Well, all the Halland ships, like the Hauler here, the Hauler, the Type 6, the Keelback, the Type 7 and the Type 9 have all had their hull hit points, or hull points, doubled. So that's going to mean that these ships are not just going to pop like little cargo pinatas whenever pirates shoot at them. They're going to be a little bit more difficult to take down, especially the Type 9. Not quite so much the Hauler. It's still going to mean that you're going to have a little bit more of a chance to get away, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Now, not only have these changes gone through, what we've also got are some new recipes for the engineers. Brew Tarquin has got grade 5 burst and beam lasers, so that's great, so I need to go and unlock him as soon as possible. Yuri Ishmak as well has got grade 5 mines. Liz Ryder, where is she? I don't actually have access to the other ones. Liz Ryder here, she now has grade 5 missiles and torpedoes, so that's making things a lot nicer. And we've also gone and got some nice new things from Todd the Blaster McQuinn. He has now got grade 5 railguns. So if you want your railguns modded up to hell and back, go and get yourselves ranked up with Todd the Blaster McQuinn. We've also got some more for Celine Jean. I do believe... oh, here we go. Celine Jean, she's also gone and got grade 4 and 5 hull reinforcement packages for different types of resistances. And no more resistances on the actual armour themselves, so the actual bulkheads. So that's nice for her as well. Didi Vaderman, wherever she is... here she is. Didi Vaderman has also gone and got grades 4 and 5 shield boosters for kinetic, thermal and explosive resistances. So, because originally I do believe they only went up to grade 3. But considering that these type of resistances are no longer as relevant as they used to be, considering that plasma accelerators now ignore resistances in your shields, these kind of are debatable as to whether or not they're going to be useful. Now, obviously the kinetic and the explosive are going to be useful. Not so sure about the thermal these days, though. Now, the next big change is to shields. I'm not 100% certain what this is getting at, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to read it out word for word. So what's happened is regeneration rates have been increased for the larger shields when broken. Size 1 and 2 have not been affected. Size 8 is double what it was. Regeneration rates when shields are active but are not recently taken damage are increased. It is now the maximum between what it was before. A fixed value for all sizes and 25% of their broken regen. 40% for Byweave. This is lower than it was in beta. Reboot repair now bump start shields when it completes, reducing downtime waiting for them to return. The focus of this is for out of combat, so it does not work when you're moving above 50 meters per second, or take a shot during the reboot. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but this seems like it's very, very poorly worded. Either that or it's just that I'm not understanding it. It seems to me like they've increased the speed at which your shields regenerate or come back up, but again, I'm not sure. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this and what you've taken away from that. We've also had a lot of changes to the weapons, but I'm going to go and cover them in a different video because there's just so much there. And now, back to this, the module reinforcements. Now what is this? It's pretty much very similar to a hull reinforcement, but it actually goes and protects your modules. It doesn't beef up your hull. So as you can see, you've got D and E rated, and it seems that's all you're going to get, from grade 1 all the way to the maximum of grade 5 so far, I think. Not sure if you can actually go and fit these elsewhere on your ship, but we'll have to go and see. Now, what these do is they protect modules against weapon fire that penetrates the hull. This version of the module has low damage capacity but a high absorption of module damage. For example, it can absorb a large proportion of module damage each time over a short period before running out of damage capacity. And let's have a look at this one. Is this the same? This seems like it's completely the opposite way around. This one has high damage capacity but low absorption. So the difference between the two of them is the D-rated ones are going to stop your modules taking damage, a lot of damage, for a short part of time. So these will help counter spike damage. These ones, though, will work over a much longer period of time, but they will reduce less damage per hit. So basically these are better for a longer drawn out battle, I suspect. So they both seem to have different weights as well. The grade E for the class 5 is 32 tons, whereas the grade D is actually 16 tons. So this is interesting. It's a big balancing act between how much damage you want to negate over how much of a period of time and how much weight you want to add to your ship. So none of these are going to be very, very light. So what this is actually going to be doing, if you're putting this in the ship like our Vulture here, is it's going to be reducing our maneuverability. Now what I do notice is there is no power draw, so that's going to be very, very interesting. So let's go and actually apply one of these, and I want to go and check something, because let's go and have a look over here. Modules, there we go, we've got a module reinforcement package. Can we actually turn it off? We can't turn it off, so I'm wondering if we actually go and have a autofill maintenance unit in here, can we actually have this working where the autofill maintenance unit is constantly repairing the module reinforcement package whilst you're taking damage? Is that something that could happen? I'll have to go and test that again in another video. So this was a bit of a rundown of some of the more important changes to the game since patch 2.2.03 was released onto the servers. Now there were a lot more stability fixes and general tweaks and fixes, but if you want to go and have a look at those, just go and check out the patch notes. Now I am going to be doing another video on having a look at the module reinforcement packages and just seeing how they work. And we're also going to be having a look at some more of the changes to the engineers' blueprints, because one of the more important things there is there's no longer any commodities needed for them, so it's just pure material, so you can fix up your smaller ships a lot more easily. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.